podcast. It's my mental breakdown. This is my mental breakdown. This is my mental breakdown! Sorry, I broke down.
You're listening to My Mental Breakdown, the podcast.
This episode is made possible by The Wool Exchange.
You can go to thewoolexchange.shop to see a complete breakdown of all their prices and hours.
This episode is also made possible by our valued patrons at Patreon.
You can go visit our Patreon page to see how you can help support the show.
Do it or Caleb will stab me.
Welcome, everybody, to My Mental Breakdown, the podcast. Holy crap, we're live! I'm your host, Caleb.
I'm Cassidy.
Jake Paulers. Oh, no,
Jake,
I'm sorry.
Jake
Paulers. I'm Jake
Paulers. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you for joining us today. It is Saturday, August 5th. And we've got one whale of a show lined up for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in today. And again, thank you to our sponsor, The Wool Exchange, for sponsoring this show. And you guys are the best. If you guys didn't see earlier in the week, we had Andrew and Corey. We did a live stream on YouTube. You can go and check that out. And we did a Ask the Barber session, which was really just us getting questions from like Dear Abby that we thought would be funny to ask Andrew.
What wasn't it like? Advice that nobody asked?
Advice nobody. We kind of stole that from. If you've ever seen Buckley, he does kind of that thing where advice. So we didn't get any questions put in quite yet. So we stole questions. So next time you guys better give us some questions. So that's all I'm going to say. But thank you all for tuning in today. And we've had one of the things I wanted to talk about heading into the show was yesterday. I had the great opportunity. You guys know I'm a bit. Cassidy definitely knows. I am a big Christopher Nolan fan. I love him. Right.
I did know that. Yes.
Yes. When she and I first started dating, I made it my mission to her. We're going to watch every Christopher Nolan movie, every one.
We haven't done that.
We haven't done that yet, but we've seen like Interstellar, Dark Knight, Inception.
Inception's my favorite.
Dark Knight's mine, but as you can go to our website and see that, by the way. But so I went and saw Dunkirk yesterday, and
Dunkirk.
It was really good. It was really not a lot of dialogue. Not a lot of dialogue.
It looks good,
It's a phenomenal movie. It's intense from like the moment go. Like it starts and it's just rocking. And it never lets up. And by the way, I found this out in the movie. I noticed somebody that looked familiar and I looked it up, and Harry Styles is in that movie.
I didn't know that.
He kicked ass in that movie. He was really good. He did a fantastic job.
Good for him.
He did play this character named Alex, who was he gets saved. And he like gets with just watch the movie. It's really good. But I bring that up because a few weeks ago when the movie came out, USA Today did this great review of it. Have you heard about this thing?
It's my favorite news site.
Okay. Well, I like USA Today. I do read them a lot. But they had this review where it was Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, yada, yada, yada. Well, long story short, there is part of the interview. A lot of the review was praising the movie, to be fair. Mm-hmm. Most of the review was like, the movie was great, this part was really good, the acting was phenomenal, this was phenomenal, all this great praise for it.
What you would expect from a Christopher Nolan movie, yeah.
But then you get towards the end, and this is where people kind of got really upset, was this quote here at the end. And it's the trio of timelines can be jarring because it falls three different places. The trio of timelines can be jarring as you figure out how they all fit. And the fact that there are only a couple of women and no lead actors of color may rub some the wrong way. Well, that comment has rubbed some people the wrong way. Surprise, surprise. And a lot of the backlash to this, I'm interested to hear your opinions on this, especially yours.
He's pointing at me for
Cassidy.
reference.
Well, I mean, you've seen it, so.
Well, she
have
didn't
not.
see it. I went and saw it alone. No,
okay.
she was at work when I went and saw
okay.
it. But a lot of people lashed back against this because the thing a lot of people don't understand, like I don't think may think about, is this is a period piece about World War II, British soldiers getting evacuated.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't say in 1940 there weren't any people of color in the British Army? Wow. Wow. I mean, I don't. The whole thing with that movie was it was supposed to give you this idea of what the war was like.
Well, I mean, it wasn't an adaptation. It was based on,
Mm-hmm.
the actual event. I mean, it's a historical, piece. So.
No, I agree. I mean, if you're writing a movie, you can incorporate diversity and women into that. But if you're retelling something that literally happened,
Right.
you want it to be historically accurate, in my opinion.
Right. Well, and I mean, and that's the thing is, like, I mean, really think about it. I mean, there weren't, the women that would have been in World War II would have been nurses and aides, and there weren't, especially in the British Army, weren't going to be any people of color. And the whole movie's about the British Army.
Right.
So I thought that was just I thought that was a really weird line to have in a movie that was about World War II. And I saw a lot of people kind of comment about that, but I don't know.
It's a film. It's not meant to offend anybody. So either you like it or you don't.
Yeah. But so that's going on. Another thing in other news, just kind of recapping this past week. Last Sunday, we got our first, well, technically second new episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And Cassie, you haven't watched it yet.
I haven't
right?
seen it yet.
Okay.
Rick Mancing the Stone.
Rick Mancing the Stone. It's they do a lot of parodying of Mad Max Fury Road in it.
Ooh.
And it was phenomenal. I loved it. Here, if you guys look on the live stream, we have some screenshots from the episode pulled up. And it was an all-around good time. I enjoyed it. Just the line where Summer says that thing where she was like, isn't there some senseless adventure we can go on? And Rick goes, no, but I'm willing to take advantage of your weakness just as much as any other church, political organization or Olympics gym trainer or something like that. It was really fun.
And then she's like something about carpe diem.
Oh, yeah, at the beginning where
yeah,
it's called Carpe Diem Morty. And he goes, you don't even know what that means, look it up. And she goes,
Yeah.
well, that's what nerds do while the rest of us are carping all them DMs.
that was like one of the best.
It was
ones,
funny.
Yeah.
But no, it
Carping
was...
on the DMs.
One of my favorite parts about it was the E.B. White reference. Did you catch that one? Do you know who E.B. White is, you guys?
Yes.
Okay. There was this thing where when they're talking about, like, do you guys ever use that Thunderdome over there? And he's like,
Yeah.
don't you mean the Blood Dome? And he's like, save it for the Semantics Dome, E.B. White.
Yeah. Yeah, I did catch that, yeah.
I thought that was great. I was really... That episode I thought was really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good. I'm excited for... Have you seen what the next episode is going to be, Cass?
No, I have not.
It's going to be Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick! All I can hear when I say that is... Because I just watched... what was it? Big Trouble in Tiny Rick. And the episode where he turns into a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I hear Pickle Rick, I just think, Tiny Rick!
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. But we teased this a little bit at the beginning. We are going to be talking about Jake Paul today. Now, I am told that just an hour ago he dropped a diss track.
This is true. I just saw
We
it.
haven't watched it yet, but I am dying to see this.
I can only
Should
imagine
we do it
how
live?
pitifully bad it is.
I don't know that we can do it live quite yet.
Darn it.
But the Jake Paul thing continues to be my favorite meme of the century. I was telling Cassidy about this earlier. We were driving up here and about how you got Ronan to any time. tell everybody what you do, what Ronan does.
We were kind of messing around, and we were just at the house, and the one day he stuck his face in his arm, and I was like, "Are you dabbing?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Are you dabbing on them haters?" And now he's like doing it all the time. I'm just like, ugh.
Earlier we were working at your house, and I just call
Working
Ronan
on the
in.
studio.
I call Ronan in from the other room, and I'd just be like, "Hey Ronan, what do you do to the haters?" And he just dab, and I was like, "That's amazing."
Wonderful.
Training those kids right. One of the kids you watch, totally okay. This is a great story.
Okay.
You got to tell this for everybody.
So, one of the boys I watch, he had this really cool YouTube video to show me. And he's like, it's my new favorite video. It's one of my favorite YouTubers. He goes, and it has this really cool line at the end. He goes, and I'll see you tomorrow because it's every day, bro. My face pales. No!
Fuck boy numero uno.
Cringe every day, bro.
Oh my gosh. We'll talk about that coming up here, but first we need to take a quick timeout. Thank you for joining us again. This is My Mental Breakdown live here on YouTube, here from Central Ohio. We'll be right back, and remember, stay sane, everybody. So, if you guys remember, one of our last episodes we did was about the Daddy 05 thing.
Hi, it's D.
No,
when I need to get my hair
I have something it's not Daddy 05. Here's the headline: Woman fatally shoots boyfriend in YouTube stunt. The only reason I'm bringing it up, I re-listened to that episode the other day just to hear what you and I had said about that. And I said, it's like, all they're going to keep doing is dialing it up. What's the next most shocking thing we can do? Because I remember on that, I was like, where's the line going to be? I wasn't thinking somebody was going to die. Clearly, I was naive.
Wait a second. What kind of gun was it?
It was a .50 caliber Desert Eagle. She shot him point blank.
And what book was this? That was supposed
to be like an encyclopedia.
It was
or
a really
something.
thick book, and they're like, "Well, this will stop the bullet."
No.
Like maybe if you were 200
Like 100 yards away or
200
something,
yards
yeah.
away, maybe, and you were a dead shot, and
Right.
it didn't hit him in the face instead.
Right.
I just don't think it's hit rock bottom yet. I mean,
I don't think it has either.
I mean, we're on a slippery slope, but we haven't hit to that ultimate thing where it's just like,
when is somebody going to blow up a mall? Like, that's what I'm waiting for. Like, somebody's going to hold up
when
a
is someone
mall.
going to do something so
Somebody's going to do
terrible?
something like catastrophe level, like this woman shooting her husband or boyfriend. Was it her husband?
It was her boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
They were
that's
not
what I thought.
married.
It's important because their child is now going to be put into the system, doesn't have a parent, and it was something that happened to that kid. And imagine growing up with that also.
Hi, it's D, and when I need to get my hair cut, which isn't often because I have no hair, there's only one place I will go, the Wool Exchange. The Wool Exchange is located in historic downtown Lancaster, right off Main Street. Whole bunch of great food there. It's great. It's tremendous. Best food you've ever had. Whether you're looking for a fade or a shave, the barbers at the Wool Exchange will provide you great looking results and a great time in the waiting room. So the next time you're in need of a high quality haircut at a great price, go and check out the Wool Exchange.
Welcome back, everybody. This is My Mental Breakdown, the podcast live here from Central Ohio. I'm your host, Caleb.
Jake Paulers.
And I'm Cassidy.
So during the break, we watched a little bit of that diss track, in quotations, maybe? If that's what you want to call it. It was bad. It was bad.
I'm watching on mute to read the lyrics right now.
Yeah.
It's still bad.
Here's the thing I took from it is I don't think there's enough post-production that can make that diss
He
track
sounded
good.
like he was trying to be Post Malone, like hardcore.
Wait, where were y'all at when Selena left Disney? You didn't talk shit to her, but now you talk shit to me.
What? Because she wasn't lighting fires in her backyard and getting sued by her neighbors.
Oh, did you hear about his recent stuff?
No, now I want to know.
Oh, he was egging, or he was throwing eggs, him and his
Dude.
10 crew.
Dude, you ain't Justin Bieber, dog.
Where were y'all at when the neighbors liked me? What did it say? Where
were you at?
Before the neighbors hated me. They wanted pictures, and now they trying to play me.
Dude, he is...
Dude, he's either bipolar or just dumb.
He's dumb. He's what was it you said, like, on our last episode? Was something like he was just, like, certifiably dumb or something like that. It was something beautiful. He is outstandingly stupid.
I mean, he's got enough brain cells to put pants on, I guess. I guess that's about the only thing he's got going on for him.
Shirt's too much work, though.
Yeah.
He's got to get one of the Team 10. He's got to get, what's the two twins from Spain?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't pay that close attention to Team 10. I really don't. I think it's hilarious.
I've been ripping on Nick Crompton like something.
Yeah, you have. You really have.
I know.
Your Twitter's been pretty good with the Nick Crompton stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's been on point. I mean, he does look like Donkey Lips. Yeah.
He's something.
Yeah.
I want to mail him a globe.
Yes.
So he knows where England is.
Okay, so if everyone's okay with this, we'll go ahead and create a group GoFundMe? we'll do a GoFundMe to buy Nick Crompton a globe.
Get it mailed to the Team 10 house.
Yeah, we'll mail it to the Team 10 house. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and circle where England is, the country.
England is my city. And no, I'm not from Compton.
And then what we'll do is we'll circle like where London is. Yeah.
You got it. Well, I don't know if he's from London or not, but I know he's from...
But England is a city, so...
Not Compton, if you were ever mistaken.
Oh, trust me, I guarantee you wasn't from Compton.
So, we all know and love fuckboy number one, Jake Paul. We all know him.
Such a tool.
Well...
Ohio's worse since Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay, so we just need
At least we got interesting documentaries out of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Fair, I guess.
I just want to go ahead and put it out there. I am sorry to the rest of the world.
We're not all like this.
We're not all like this. I'm sorry that he was bred on our soil and he spread like cancer.
And he tried... Okay, so... So we all kind of question his parenting, right? Like, where were his parents? Aren't his parents ashamed? No, they're not ashamed.
His parents are just as cringy.
Yeah, so the Paul family is the Cringe family.
The Cringe.
The Cringers. They're Cringers with an S. Remember, there's an S.
So, they did this video called The Kissing Contest, parentheses, me versus my dad. Is that not the cringiest title?
That's clickbait if I've ever seen it. But then it's not.
Yeah.
It's like that's the kind of thing, it's like, I was trapped in a dungeon with goblins, and it's like...
And the thing is, like, if you look here on the screen... Jake Paul does a lot of these. Like, he does this, who's a better kisser, sexual content. Like, and he has like 4 or 5 of these. and they're all like, he's done this a whole lot. So the interesting thing is this isn't a new thing that he's done. It's just weird that his dad got involved on this.
Like father, like son.
Yeah.
The apple didn't fall too far from the tree.
No, his dad's about as his dad is El Padre de Cringe.
So, real fast, break down what happened in this video.
Okay, so basically what happened in this video is they were doing this. They were hanging out at the Team 10. I assume it was the Team 10 house. I would assume so. And it was like at the end of this vlog. Like most of the vlog is just them like racing go-karts. Like it has nothing to do with this part of it. Mm-hmm. But they're at the house and they're talking about like Jake and his dad are being just weird and cringy and talking about who they think would be a better kisser. Which is weird. I can't imagine having that conversation with my dad, or any parental figure.
It's almost like insert Barney Stinson. Challenge accepted.
So they basically do this thing where one of the guys in the Team 10 is like, well, there's this girl inside, and if you put like, what was it, a pop tag or something on, like her location or whatever, she'll do it. Like she'll kiss like whoever. Something like that. So they blindfold her, and they take turns kissing this girl. And
I mean, they would have to blindfold her, showing her to some 50-year-old.
And it starts out with Jake and El Hijo del Cringe. But so it starts off with Jake, and then like another one of the other Team 10 kids comes up and does it. And then father comes up and joins, and like he really goes after it, and it's like
It's not just once.
it's
Not just twice.
It was really cringy to watch. It was really bad, and so that happened. So I did a little digging because I was curious. Come to find out, the Paul brothers aren't the only ones who have an internet presence. Oh no.
Oh no.
Both of his parents do vlogs, and they're just as bad.
Yeah, I saw the new one where
It's like Papa Vlog or something like that.
Well, she got his mom got a Cartier necklace from Jake Paul. I saw the other day. Yeah.
I saw that and I was just like,
His name is Greg. I just looked it up.
Greg Paul. Yeah.
Hey, thanks to the internet. So someone happened to post the phone numbers of the Paul family on H3
Was it on the Reddit page?
No,
or?
it was on the Twitter
Okay.
page. It was in one of the comments. It was actually right above my comment of Uncle Fester and Nick Rompton. So
You look very surprised at something, Cassidy. What's going on?
Oh, no. I just know people who went to the same high school as the Paul brothers. I just realized
Oh, shoot.
from my research.
Oh, wow. Where did they go to high school at?
They grew up in Westlake is what I can see.
which is a suburb of Cleveland. It's just outside of Cleveland.
Yeah. It's just... that whole thing, it just... What it... Okay.
Mind, sorry.
The whole thing, like, with this kind of blows my mind a little bit. Just look at this. Look at Jake's face. He's, like, right up behind his dad, who's being a weirdo with this, like... there's no way she's older than 20. No way.
She's like a fan or something.
She's some...
Yeah, I
have
heard
no
she was
idea.
I remember reading she was like a fan.
That's even weirder, because she's probably younger than that, then.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... Yeah.
His fan base is like 12, 13, 14, 15. That's weird.
It's cringy.
That's really...
It's very cringy. Well, here's the thing that I took from Jake Paul's dad is he's almost like that guy that just got out of a crappy divorce and he's trying to get back in the dating pool.
See, like Sean Spicer. He's just working out again.
He's going to work out
Going to the
again.
gym.
But yeah, like he's trying to get back in the dating pool and he's looking for younger women.
I think they're about like 40 years too young,
Yeah,
dude.
it is. Yeah.
the thing is, like, I can't wait to really watch that diss track later, honestly. I can't wait to watch that and just fully take in the cringe. Because it was... this whole Team 10 thing, and I know I keep going back to a lot of the same points when we talk about YouTube. But a lot of it ends up coming back to the same thing. It's this clickbait. I mean... think about this.
I'm thinking.
Oh. Are you?
Oh.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
thinking about what you're about to say.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for it? All right, get ready for this. So, like, if you remember any of those, I remember, like, Joey Salads did a lot of those, especially during the election. The
Trump stuff.
Like, yeah, a lot of the stuff with the Trump people, like the All Lives Matter stuff, and it's like, they're obviously fake. And so now you have things like this where... I remember when YouTube was Rhett and Link. I remember back in the day when it was just good, wholesome fun. And now it's cringe fest, man. It's bad. This is bad. As we say this as we're live streaming on YouTube.
Well, yeah. Well,
YouTube is so bad, we
It's-
say to YouTube.
YouTube is terrible. It's the worst. It's absolutely deplorable.
no, here's the thing. YouTube is great in itself, minus the idiots that think they can put crap on there.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, I know you watch Keemstar a lot, and I like Keemstar a little bit, but like the whole drama alert thing. Like, there was that thing that he did yesterday about YouTube Civil War or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I just
sent
sat
you
there
a
and
message
rolled
on
my
that, yeah.
eyes because I'm like, who cares? Listen, who cares about? I don't even know who KSI is, and I'm big into the YouTube community. All right,
Yeah.
I don't know. The most notable thing that the only reason I know of Team 10 is because he's so cringy. I mean, I feel like you'd kind of find Jake Paul one way or another on YouTube how big he's gotten.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. It's the whole thing for me with this whole Jake Paul thing is it really seems like I promise we're going to stop talking about it after this because I don't want to feed the beast anymore. Because at this point now I think that's all that's happening anymore. Is the more you acknowledge this, the more you feed it.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very insightful.
I'm sorry. You just hit the nail on the head.
That's how awesome.
No, I
know.
mean, when you watch Jake Paul's videos, it's just like this mashup of like garbage.
Well,
like there's no substance to it whatsoever.
It really, there really isn't, and it's one of those things where you sit and you watch. Like, did you see the reaction video he did to H3 and PewDiePie?
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the whole video or just the thing from H3?
Just the thing from H3.
Okay. I watched the whole video, so I can spoil it for you. You didn't miss anything.
Go ahead.
Because literally, he only put the parts in the video, on Ethan's video, that had any content, because it was like a 10-minute video. And outside of the clips he showed, it's just Jake staring at the screen like an idiot. Just
Yeah,
Wow,
it
this is
has an
translating
S.
so well.
Just
It has-
that.
yeah.
Just look at that beautiful face, just looking like a moron staring at the screen.
I mean, the caption works.
Fuckboy numero uno.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuckboy.
I'm so glad you did not acquire a screen grab of our man Greg Paul in his OU garb.
Oh my gosh.
In the video, he's wearing an
Yeah.
Ohio University shirt, which is the school that I attend, if you did not know. And I screamed and I said, "No! This is not what I want. This is not what I planned."
I was just, it's...
Hey, maybe he'll donate a wing like Ailes did.
You know, we sent that
Just
money.
saying.
We sent that money back.
Did they really?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Wow.
I remember I was in the journalism building as they were like scraping his name off the wall.
That was right after the whole sex
Oh, yeah.
scandal thing. Speaking of which, I sent this article to Cassidy earlier today. Speaking of Fox News. I got to pull this up because I got to share this with my man Matt over here.
Okay.
So our boy Eric Bolling from Fox News has
we hang out all the time.
Yeah, he's a dude. Fox News host Eric Bolling accused of sending lewd photos to female coworkers, and it's a lot. Like it's what was it, like a dozen sources or something like that, or like a dozen women or something along.
It's insane.
Yeah, like it's wild, and it's just one of those things where you keep looking at it, you're like, huh, man, really? Eric Bolling? Fox News? Really?
It's almost like there's a theme there.
Huh. And it was like when the whole thing with Sean Hannity came out, and it was like, oh, the White House and Sean Hannity were like pushing that fake narrative about what was the thing.
The DNC staffer.
Yeah, the DNC staffer. And like, I'm just sitting there looking at it. I'm like, when is... I want to know when people are going to wake up to that. That's what I want to know, because it literally, like, it's... When you have a White House that's literally like straight up lying... I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
people are kind of waking up. They're just kind of like,
I guess.
yeah, it's a load of crap, you know.
Well, we'll talk more about that after the break. We'll be coming back. We do have to talk about the fact that the mooch is gone.
The mooch.
The mooch. He was there for a whole 10 days, but we'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in. This is My Mental Breakdown, the podcast. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Cassidy. When the guys need to get a haircut, there's only one way to go, the Wool Exchange.
Speaking of La La Land, you watched La La Land Sunday night after we
I did.
And I hear you didn't like it.
Let me just go and give you my short review.
Okay.
Because I only made it through 10 minutes of the movie. And this is giving some spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, tough
You're
shit.
spoiling the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Whatever. I mean, if I spoil it, I spoil it.
Yeah, you've only saw 10 minutes. You're like, I'm going to ruin the first 10 minutes for you.
Okay, so I'm going to ruin the first 10 minutes for you. Just giving you a heads
So if you
up.
want to see the first 10 minutes, go to the bathroom now.
I made it to where she's at the coffee shop, and then she runs into somebody, and then she has to go to an audition or something. But anyhow, after I got to the part where she gets back to the house after the audition, and then they start into the other musical part of it, I was just done.
That doesn't sound like a lot of spoilers. That just sounds like she went.
They sang.
Well, no. And here's the thing.
She went to do a thing and then she stopped.
Okay, but here's the other thing that I noticed. I didn't even know what the movie was about, let alone who was in it.
So you didn't like Google it or any like look
No.
up, watch a trailer or anything?
No, I didn't watch anything.
That's on you, man.
Well, that's fine, but I wanted to find out what the hype was.
So
about.
you're saying that you would hate it if everyone came into your store and started singing to you?
Yeah, I would.
Oh.
Hi, it's Cassidy. When the guys need to get a haircut, there's only one way to go, the Wool Exchange. The Wool Exchange is located in historic downtown Lancaster, right off of Main Street. Whether you're looking for a fade or a shave, the barbers at the Wool Exchange provide great looking results. So next time you're in need of a high quality haircut at a great price, go and check out the Wool Exchange. You can learn more by visiting the
And we're back. This is My Mental Breakdown, the podcast, live and in color here on YouTube. From High definition. Amazing Technicolor. Thank you all for joining us. It is again, it's Saturday evening, and I'm glad you all stopped by. Y'all. So glad. But so we talked a little bit there before the break about the whole thing where Anthony Scaramucci, the mooch,
He was only mooching for 10 days.
he is out.
Fun fact.
That was a few days ago.
Wait, listen to my fun fact.
All right, fun fact.
His official start date was August 10th, so he actually worked negative days.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So he
Oh,
he officially had.
That's bad.
The first person to ever work negative days for the White House.
Does that mean he has to pay back the White House?
You tweeted out something really funny the other day, where it was something like, "I feel bad for AP poli-sci kids," or
AP U.S. history students have to remember all of Trump's cabinet replacements.
Like, it would probably require... It probably requires a bigger textbook, like, that has to be updated every other week.
Sean Spicer, Anthony Scaramucci.
That would be the biggest chapter of that textbook.
It's like 90% of the book.
It's like a hit list of fallen soldiers.
It's Schindler's List of staffers.
It's Trumper's List. Remember, there's an S at the end.
Oh, no.
Donnie's List.
Donnie Trumpers.
Donnie.
Go to Donnie.
Good old Donnie.
Did you see that Donald Trump is not on vacation right now?
Oh, he's not?
No.
He's at like a resort / golf country club place in New Jersey, and he's working every day, he said in a tweet.
Every day, bro.
But there's a picture of him on the golf course today, and like, it's fine to take a vacation, but why would you lie?
He's taking so many breaks. It's insane. Like, just like, he's taken more golf breaks than Obama did in his entire 8 years. And we're what?
Well, that's because the Mooch is the best golfer. No. Wrong. Trump is the best golfer of all time, according to the Mooch.
He's just remember last week I told you he taught Steph Curry that sweet 3-point shot. He gave him that sweet shot. Mm-hmm. It's so, like I said, your 2 rings are because of your man Donnie.
Donnie Trumpers.
Donnie Trump. This whole thing with Donald Trump. I was talking to a friend about this the other day, because you saw Robert Mueller got a grand jury now for the investigation into the Russia stuff.
I mean, I kind of just,
it's getting real. And so I was looking at it, and I was talking to my friend about this. We were changing brake pads and stuff, and I was talking to him, and I was like, this presidency is the worst. And it's not, and yeah, there is the policy part of it, but from like the psychological standpoint of it, you think it's got as bad as it can get, and then it gets worse.
No, it can be much worse.
And that's the thing that's crazy about it, because it's like, think back to when like all of this started, where it's, who was it first? The guy who left, the general, who, I can't think of his name all of a sudden. He was on his staff. He was defense secretary or something like that. You should know this, Cass. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I took A-Push in 2013. I didn't have to memorize
You
this.
pay attention to all this stuff. You're my go-to.
I don't get in the political ball.
Anyway, when all that stuff first started happening, when the collusion talks with Russia started, you're like, oh, this seems like it's, maybe it was just the outside rim. Mm-hmm. And then you hear about
Mike Flynn?
Thank you. You are like 30 minutes late to every party.
That is not true.
Jake, it's like the Jake Paul's party, over party.
Gosh. But so it started off with like the Mike Flynn stuff.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what was in between that and Jared Kushner, but then you had Jared Kushner. And then there was the Donald Trump Jr. stuff. And then you find out that his statement was false. Then you find out that Donald Trump himself wrote the false statement. And it just every time I posted an article from the Washington Post, and some ex-CIA officials were talking about it, and they're like, this is not how an innocent person acts. And I mean, that's the thing, is you look at this and you're like, he is so combative. This is not normal behavior.
Man, I just feel like we're in the Matrix. And like,
this is a bad simulation, man.
Yeah, just like shit just went to hell.
Enough scandal for multiple presidencies.
Seriously.
And this is the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Months.
I mean, that's the thing that's wild about it, is if this is a simulation, this must be like that episode of Rick and Morty where they dialed it back down to 5%, and it's like, now get ready for human music.
Yes.
Hungry for apples. That's what it feels like, though, because everything is so ludicrous right now. I don't know. I know as far as this stuff goes, I'm with the Trump stuff, it really makes me look at it and go, this isn't about like, because I know a lot of people who are like, oh, you're just mad Hillary lost. I didn't really want Hillary that much to begin with. I wanted her more than Trump, but I'm not butthurt that she lost.
No.
I am, however, upset that, we do know that Russia hacked several voting locations in several states. That's been confirmed. We do know that the Kremlin and the now president had, not necessarily him, but his staff had communications with Russian officials.
Well, they actually proved like all the
Yeah.
hacking stuff at DEF CON.
Yeah. Well, they proved that it could happen, but they knew it happened. Like, states confirmed that they had
Right.
gotten hacked, like, what was it,
Yeah.
a month ago or something like that. And so it's one of those things where you look at this, and this is not a anti-Trump. Look, if Trump was doing policy stuff, that's fine. I can disagree. I don't agree with your policies, but we can disagree and have a discussion.
Right.
This is different because right now we're dealing with an issue of a foreign power influenced an election, and the reason that is a big deal, why do I have to explain why that's a big deal in the first place? That's
Yeah.
what blows my mind.
Yeah.
The craziest part to me is that in order to get sanctions on Russia, we had to back Trump into a corner.
Yeah, because with that bill, they basically made it so that he had to sign it, and like it was.
They took away his power of veto
Yeah.
because they had enough people to override his veto,
Yeah.
and that's how they constructed the bill. So it had to.
It had to go through.
Well, things are bad when you have to like look for loopholes like that.
Things are bad when Democrats and Republicans start working together.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, here's the thing: Lindsey Graham and I could very easily not be very. We do not agree on a lot politically, but I love him right now because he's like the one Republican outside of like John McCain.
John McCain's he's a guy.
He's really, though, in his defense, like he's probably gonna die, unfortunately, which is that whole brain cancer thing is terrible. It's really far ahead.
I know it is.
It's really sad.
That was just really blunt. But I mean, on that token, he's not running for re-election.
Yeah.
He's got the best interest of his state at heart.
Right.
Not keeping on party lines, not
Right.
worrying about re-election.
Right.
I figured out the conspiracy.
All right.
Okay, you ready for this one?
This better be good, Matt.
This one's good. Okay, so Trump is being bad on purpose so he can bring people together. Because people realize that he's so inherently bad that
What is this, Watchmen?
Yeah. Yes, it's Watchmen. But everyone sees that he's so bad.
He's
So
not that smart.
Democrat.
He used to
and
be that
Republican
smart. He's just an old dude.
and crazy people and SJWs and everyone just coming together, one big happy
Right.
family to throw out Daddy Donnie
Daddy Tony.
Trumpers.
Well, and Cass, you bring up an interesting thing because you read some article where they were talking about how like he is showing signs of.
Oh, yeah. So legally, no one who's never treated him can diagnose him
Right.
with anything, because that's how medical and psychological things work.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaches confidentiality to try and diagnose someone, and it's unethical.
Right.
But the article, it was a video, but they played videos of him speaking in the 80s. And he's a smart, articulate,
Yeah.
quick-witted guy.
Yeah.
And you look at his speech patterns here in 2017 at 71 years old, and he rambles and gets lost, and his vocabulary is much more limited than it used to be, which is one of the signs of someone who has the earlier stages of dementia.
Right.
And I'm not saying he has it, but it was really interesting to see the contrast between him speaking in 1980
Right.
versus now, 30-ish years later.
Right.
Yeah, because when you watch some of that stuff, like he was really, like you could really like the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, He was very charismatic back then.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you read the art. Like, I read The Art of the Deal, and I'll tell you what. Like, you read it and you like him because, like, and that's the thing. Like, he's not. That's what makes this whole thing very strange to me. Right. Is everything feels very off about the whole situation. But I don't know. Everybody in the comments or on Twitter, let us know what you. I mean, I'm fairly certain I could get a good guess of what most people feel like about it. But I think it's that thing you brought up, Cassidy, with the dementia thing. It's very interesting. Because it is true. He is a lot different than he was. I mean, and most people would be different, but it's like very strange.
New York Times article where there's so much like garbled, like where he's just stopped speaking words.
Like he just mumbles and makes up stuff.
Like where you can't understand what he's saying because when you transcribe an interview and you can't make it out, it's not like crosstalk, but it says garbled but it's indistinguishable words. And there was a ton of that in the interview.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I just kind of hope that everything just kind of works out. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point,
hopefully he keeps it together.
All I ask is that we get to the bottom of the Russia stuff. That's really all I care about. And
save healthcare.
Well, yeah, that too. That was phenomenal. John McCain, my boy. Did you see the video of him? His vote no. Yeah.
Susan Collins, Elisa Murkowski. They were there the whole time. If you're listening, Caleb just shoved the microphone in my mouth.
Because you're not talking into the mic.
Stop hitting my face with the microphone.
Talk into the microphone.
Into the microphone. You like... Matt used to do this too, where Matt would, when we first started doing this, Matt would be like, yeah, so I was out at the store the other day, and then we started doing this thing. And like,
Caleb's leaning back as he does that for reference.
But you could hear how I drift away. And so, well, Cassidy can't. She's not wearing headphones.
They weren't working.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Now I'm yelling. I'm sorry.
Yeah, now I'm
Somebody's
like
got a tube.
Now I'm like right up on the mic. So.
Yeah, you do. I mean, both of you do a good job for the most part. Eat the mic.
I am. I feel germy. I feel like I'm getting bacteria in my mouth.
Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for stopping into the first live episode of My Mental Breakdown, the podcast. And live from Central Ohio, it's My Mental Breakdown.
I love you, Cleveland.
But yeah, thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. That really does mean a lot to us. That helps us out a lot. And
Cringe Parlors Unite.
A lot. Yeah.
Cringe Parlors Unite.
And just remember, it's, El Padre de Cringe. You gotta say it with hashtag El Padre
de Cringe.
The cringe.
The cringe.
Can I end the podcast?
Oh, go for it.
Go Wait, no, I want you to do I just want to say the tagline.
All right.
You have to do the rest of it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, and we will be back next Saturday again, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Caleb.
Jake Paulers.
I'm Cassidy. Stay sane, everybody.